This is a great opener if you're at the bar, the club, the restaurant. People have their IDs out, their credit cards out. It might be a great way to flirt with the waitress when you go to pay your bill, go to hand her your credit card, make it disappear, and then reappear. I'm just throwing that out there, whatever you want to use it for, but it's just very environmental, situational. It's a prop that everyone can relate to. And now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how the actual vanish is achieved. One of the things you'll notice is this has a little hologram on it, which most credit cards do, and that's just a little subtlety. That's why I like to often use a credit card, because just you moving the card around will cause the light to hit that hologram and it'll flicker, which will draw people's eye to the effect, which is a nice little subtlety. The actual placement of the card is just like a deck of cards. You're holding the card just like you would a dealer's grip. Okay. Your right hand is going to approach the card, palm down, and you're going to grab the outer left and inner right corners of the card in between the second finger and thumb. Okay, so you just reach over, grab those corners, and your index finger is going to actually twirl the card around as you display it to the people. All right, and this is basically essentially a double lift that was developed by Gary Kurtz. Gary Kurtz would use this to lift a double off the top of the deck and display the face of the card, and then he would turn it back around. Okay, so you're basically just reversing your actions. You're using the first finger to pivot the card around, the second finger and thumb. Okay, it's just pivoting around, and then you kind of reverse those actions and lay it right back into the hand. Okay, now you're going to mime those same actions. The only difference is the left second finger, this finger right here, is going to act as the pivot point. Okay, your left index finger is not going to move at all. This isn't going to move. You're just going to use that second finger as a pivot point. Okay, see, it's very easy. If I approach with the same positionings, if I just apply a little bit of pressure right there on the second finger, it'll revolve right around there. And that's what you want. You want it to revolve right around your hand. Okay? I'm going to move a little bit just so you can see if I keep going. If I keep everything as it should, it'll just keep sliding and sliding and sliding, and eventually it'll slide right under my watch. Okay? So you don't have to be wearing a watch. You can have a band on your wrist, rubber bands, or even a sleeve, but the watch is a lot easier, and this is what I've done over the years, but I'll show you the other version as well. So now that you've got the basic technique down, let's talk about the watch. This watch is a little bit loose. When I perform the effect, I want to make sure that the watch is nice and snug up to my hand, okay? As tight to my hand as possible, okay? What's going to happen is this corner here, when it revolves around the hand, it's going to actually contact the watch, okay? And it's hard for me to do this with my hands up because gravity is working against me and it's pulling the watch down, okay? But you can see that corner is accessing underneath the watch there. And that's really all you need, is that one corner, okay? If you can get that one corner in there, the card will stay there, okay? If I just get one corner, it will stay there. But as you can see, it's not the best position for it to be in because it's very angle sensitive. You can do it this way, but you have to be very mindful of the angles here. Obviously, you don't want that corner to stick out there, or this one to stick out here. Now, once I'm in position, as long as I got that corner in there, I can use my thumb. Watch my thumb on the bottom. It just gives that extra little nudge, and what it's doing is it's pushing the card so it will be lodged in there both corners, okay? Not just one corner, both corners. It's very difficult for me to do this with my arms up like this, so I'm kind of forcing it to do that. But basically what will happen is it will go from this position here, all right? And my thumb is going to hit this corner here and make it jam inside so it's completely locked in, so both corners are covered with the watch, all right? You've got a great psychological thing going on here because they can see the palms of both of your hands empty. So that really, to anybody's mind, would imply that the card is completely vanished, okay? In reality, it's on the back of your hand. Now, if you'd like, you can retrieve it a couple different ways. What I like to do is kind of brush my hands together in kind of this action showing that it's not there. And then as I brush my hand the last time, I actually just take the card out and revolve the hand around. So I'll give you an exposed view of that, okay? The card is here. As I brush my hand the last time, it does it a couple times normally, and then the last time it just takes it, okay? So I've got it basically in a cop position if I expose it here, all right? But if I'm holding my hand in the right angles, it looks like my hand is just naturally relaxing, okay? I just kind of brush it, stealing the card, okay? And now as I make a slight body turn to my right, I'm going to expose this for you guys, but I turn to my right. As I do, I take the card in my left hand, okay? Kind of in a gesture showing my right hand completely empty. It's kind of a hand washing sequence. And now I can relax, all right? I relax my left hand, okay? And in a moment, my right hand is going to relax too, but I'll keep it extended just for you guys. When my left hand relaxes, it goes from classic palm here to more of a flat palm, okay? Gambler's palm, all right? In between the pinky and the thumb. Those are the points where you're squeezing the card, in between the pinky and the thumb. And you'll notice if I turn my hand over, you can't see the card at all. And it's a very natural position because my hands are mirroring each other. I'm going to kind of do, once again, this like Miyagi rubbing the hands back and forth, forward and backward. And when I get to this certain point, I can actually take my right hand and go behind the card, okay? So I'm rubbing back and forth here. And whenever I want to make the card appear, I just put my hand behind it and push forward, okay? And it pops the card right to my fingertips. I can separate my fingers to add a little pizzazz to the production, and then eventually I just hold it right at my fingertips for the final display. If you'd like, you can finish here. We have a couple different variations to reproduce it. I'll show you another one. One of my favorite things to do is to produce it from the inner breast pocket. If you'd like, you could even have this set up for a lapel wallet, maybe a card to wallet load, or you can have an envelope in your pocket so you can load the card in the envelope. But what you do is you do the same vanish, okay, going to underneath the watch, and once it's locked in position, you can do the same show of the hands empty, okay? Sorry. Doing the same show of the hands empty, okay, but instead of stealing it from underneath, I'm just going to boldly turn my hand over and steal it with my right hand as I look at the time. I say, I have no idea where it could have gone, and then I look at them and I say, oh, wait a minute, let's see. And then I turn my hand over and I just take the card right into tenkai of the right hand as I look at the watch and I say, I think it's about time. Okay, so now you're using tenkai held between the thumb and the palm of the hand, okay? If you'd like, you can use the old Ross Bertram subtlety of actually bringing the card up against your body and relaxing. So that way you can show your hands completely empty. From this angle, it looks pretty silly, but as you can see, if I just relax and go like this, it looks like my hands are completely empty. It's an old subtlety. And now what you do is you open up your jacket. If your jacket is unzipped, you can reach right in, but it doesn't need to be unzipped as long as I can reach my hand in here, okay? It's a little bit easier if it's unzipped, so we'll teach it to you that way. I can actually open my jacket, I can take this hand, reach inside, and then I mime the action of pulling the card out of my pocket, as if I'm revealing the card from my pocket, okay? So that's number two, that's the second way to do it. The first way was just producing it like this, rubbing the hands and making the card appear like that. The other option is stealing it from the back of the hand and producing it from the pocket like I just did. Or if you have an envelope or a wallet in there, when you put the card in the wallet, or I'm sorry, when you go to produce the card, you just shove the card into the envelope or the load wallet. Now you pull out your wallet, and they get to open up the wallet and take the card out of the wallet. So it's like better than signed card to wallet. It's their credit card to wallet. It's a great combination because you get this instant vanish of the card, barehanded vanish, and then you produce the card from your wallet. You can't get a lot stronger than that. Just wanted to give you a couple of tips on the production here. Basically, it's in a gambler's flat palm, all right, held in between the pinky and the thumb. Okay, I can show you with this hand, a little bit easier. So from full palm, if you're palming the card in classic palm or full palm, it's pretty easy to just push with the fingers downward and then grasp it in between the pinky and thumb. Okay, I'm doing it in the right hand for explanation purposes, but when I actually perform it, I use my left hand. So I'll switch the card now, but it's going to mirror the exact same positionings, okay? And this is done as I do a body turn, okay? I turn my body, I relax a little bit, and then I take a deep breath and act as if I'm just kind of rubbing my hands together, going to do the Mr. Miyagi thing, okay? So that's the spectator view. I'll give you the exposed view, all right? Just maintaining the card in flat palm. And then whenever I want to produce it, I just move my right hand back a little bit further and push forward, and it revolves completely around at the fingertips, okay? And you can do this slow. Even when you do it slow, it looks really cool. It just looks like it appears there, all right? You do not have to rush this. It's almost an automatic move. If you've got the card in flat palm, as long as you've got good aim and just push your fingers in there, it pops right out to the fingertips, okay? So that's a little bit of the finesse on popping the card to the fingertips. Here's a little bit of a big boy version, I guess you could call it, if you don't have a watch on, okay? So I'll take the watch off. And I mentioned this earlier, you do not necessarily have to rely on the watch if you have maybe a bracelet, an armband, or even maybe some rubber bands around your wrist. There's a lot of different things that you could have around your wrist to kind of secure the watch. But it is possible to just use your sleeves. The nice thing about doing it with the watch is you can do it just in a t-shirt, all right? You could do it without any sleeves on, okay? But if you do happen to have sleeves, this is a nice alternate version. You're going to do the exact same positions, the hand positions, everything is the same. It's just that when you get here, you're going to squeeze the card, all right? I'll do this in slow motion, give you an exposed view. All right, I do the revolve first, then it revolves around the hand, it keeps going, keeps going. When I get there, watch my thumb, how it just squeezes the card, all right? And when it squeezes, it will just drop right in the sleeve, okay? It's almost like the old pumpkin seed vanish, where you take the coin and squeeze it, and it just shoots up your sleeve. Same idea, okay? And once it shoots up your sleeve, you're completely clean. This is even better than the watch. Now you can show both sides of your hands empty, all right? Same production though. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna relax my left hand, and when it relaxes, it will catch the card, okay? And I've done it enough times where I can catch it almost or directly in flat palm, okay? As I relax, I catch the card, take the deep breath, run the hands together, and then bam, right at the fingertips, produce the card, same exact production, only you've got a little bit cleaner vanish because you can show your hands front and back empty, okay?